So firstly, scan the QR code and plot your charts right now. Okay, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, 0. Let's go. Look at your natal chart, and this is where you're going to find your 4 animal signs. Okay, those are just in case some of you are new here. You might think that you can't read Chinese, right? Don't worry, there's English as well. Just look for the English words, yeah? Okay, so these are your 4 animal signs, and each pillar, the year, month, day, and hour, would indicate different aspects of your life. So the year would normally indicate our friends' market industry. The month represents our career or business. The day represents our own personal expectations, our own personal plans. It also talks about our personal relationships, just like, for example, our spouses, right? Or our spouse, sorry, one. And the hour talks about our investments, assets, children, and stuff, whoever we take care of. Okay, guys? All right. So normally every year when I do this, this is how I would group them. Okay, I will group them into the Grand Duke animal signs. Why is this so important? Because the Grand Duke animal signs will experience changes coming into their lives. Be prepared for some changes coming your way. It should have already arrived. Let's start off with the snake. In 2025, it is the year of the snake, which means that the snake is the Grand Duke. Now, what exactly is the Grand Duke? The Grand Duke means it is the king of the year because it is your year, right? So it is the year of the snake. So the snake is the Grand Duke. Now, those of you with the snake in the Grand Duke, right, you're not offending the Grand Duke, just in case, all right? You're not offending the Grand Duke because you are the Grand Duke. Now, a lot of people, especially, from the Chinese culture, right, whenever they know that they have Grand Duke animal signs, they panic because they feel like they are offending the gods. They feel like they are offending the king of the year. Now, just to put your minds at ease, all right? Now, the Grand Duke, another way of looking at it, basically you can look at it as the opportunities of the year. Okay, so those of you with the Grand Duke animal signs means there are some changes into your lives because the opportunities of the year came to look for you. Do you guys like this kind of explanation better? All right. Now, I was like the traditional guys, right? Many years ago when I was growing up. But when I studied Bazi, I realized it's not that bad. The only reason why we go through changes is because the universe is helping us take advantage of the opportunities for the year before it just passes us by. Which means, right, in a general sense, stepping up into a leadership role, stepping up into the limelight. It also talks about higher levels of commitment, basically doing more, okay? And just imagine that you are the king of the year. So whenever you walk into the room, everybody looks at you, okay? You may be extremely handsome or beautiful, but the reason why people look at you is because they are waiting for instructions because you are the king. Okay, so the Grand Duke normally talks about stepping up into a leadership role. It talks about spearheading some new initiative, campaign, or new directive, for example. So this is what I call a neutral change. It's neither uncomfortable nor happy. It's just a very neutral change. Okay, and this change just requires you to step up. That's it. Nothing complicated about it. Yeah. Now, every animal sign every year will come with its own set of good and bad auxiliary stars, or what we call these auspicious and inauspicious stars. Okay, so we have color coded it. The red color words represent the auspicious stars, and the black color words represent the inauspicious stars. Now, it's not a matter of quantity, guys. It doesn't mean that you have fewer red words and you have more black words means you're unlucky. No. Okay, these words over time, right, through observation, we realize that it just describes the nature of activities that we get ourselves engaged in. Okay, so for example, The Duke's arrival. This is called the King of the Year. So you are stepping up into the limelight. You have all the attention. Everybody looks at you as the leader, right, and all that stuff. You have the Relief God and Heavenly Relief. Now, when you see the word relief, it basically means problem solving. So you have double the ability to problem solve. Now, every year, normally we only need like one. Okay. Recent years, we have been receiving two, for example. What does this mean, guys? Generally, it means that you might have to face more problems this year to solve. Now, before you get all doom and gloom, right? Relax. More problems to solve means more opportunities to monetize and be rewarded. Do you feel better now? How many of you agree that the way we make money in this world is by solving problems? The bigger the problem we solve, the more money comes our way. Tap at me if you agree. Okay, type a me if you agree. Now, that means if you have double the problem solving stars, means you have double the opportunities to solve problems. All you need to do is to monetize 10 to 20% of it. That's it. Golden carriage means I'm carrying you to a new opportunity full of resources at your fingertips to deploy. Okay, so what kind of resources? All right, you're talking about money, you're talking about expertise, you're talking about noblemen, advice, you're talking about any form of intellectual property, any form of additional knowledge, whatever you need to get yourself to the next level. You have abundant resources. Okay, so the snake is not that bad, right? Of course, Grand Duke means change. Sword Age means you are basically moving along and navigating carefully. All right, because you are basically exploring something new. All right, you're afraid of making mistakes, so you are treading carefully. All right, nothing bad, just a bit nervous. Hidden Corpse means hidden issues. Back poking talks about petty people, naysayers, people who do not validate what you're doing, right? Just ignore them, right? Instability basically means uncertainty because you are discovering your way, you are doing something new. Blood knife, be careful in terms of minor accidents, be careful of cutting and bleeding. So traditionally, a lot of people like to donate blood when they see blood knife. Okay, even in a more traditional sense, some older folks will talk about going to the dentist for some cleaning, some scaling. All right, because you do bleed as well. And Earth Killing talks about a bumpy journey. Now, even though a lot of people are saying that, oh, Kenneth, look at the snake, right? It has so many black, inauspicious stars, for example. But guys, think about this. If you are problem solving, if you are navigating into a new direction, if you are, embarking on a new adventure to do something opportunistic and new, don't you think that you have to go through a bit of a teething journey to get to the final destination, right? So can you see that the red and the black words are happening concurrently and is very logical? Next one, the pig. Okay, now the pig and the year of the snake forms a clash. Are you guys worried? Don't be, okay? Don't be. In fact, I need you guys to be excited. Why? Because in terms of clashes, we have two kinds of clashes, guys. All right. So one is called clashing in and the other one is called clashing out. Okay. So now clashing in means something happening to you and you're forced to react. This is what people are a bit more afraid of. Clashing in. That means something happening to you. The other one is called clashing out, which means the pig, which represents your efforts, sees the opportunities of the year, which is the snake. Okay. And the pig is going after the snake. So you're pursuing something. This clashing out basically indicates you putting your foot down, making a decision to go after a new objective, to go after new money, to go after a new direction. However, the definition of clashing is an uncomfortable journey. All right. So you are pursuing new opportunities and wealth, but the process is very annoying because in Bazi studies, the pig and the snake clash is the least serious. Okay. That means it's not life changing. It's not detrimental. It's nothing serious. Okay. But it is the most annoying. The pig and the snake clash is called the annoying clash, which means the journey that you have to embark on requires a lot of red tape. It's a tedious process, jumping through hoops, right? Things are not straightforward. You have to go one big detour before getting to your destination. So this entire process or this entire pursuit of this opportunity can be a bit annoying. If as long as you are clear about this and you don't run away from discomfort, it's going to be a great year for you. And now coming to the auxiliary stars, national treasure means an increase in position of authority. So you can be promoted, you can become a bigger boss by scaling up your operations, right? You can be given a new title to spearhead or to lead the way. Skyhorse is a traveling wealth star. That means you have to move either physically, domestically, or internationally. If you can't move physically, you can do what we do. That means we do a lot of Zoom, right? We do a lot of traveling digitally. All right. This is very good for social media marketing because social media marketing means traveling in cyberspace. All right, constantly. Now, month emptiness talks about problem solving. Now, month emptiness is particularly good to get rid of chronic illnesses. Chronic illnesses, right? So if you have any underlying issues and you have the pig in your chart, it's a good year to start treatments. Year breaker means you are trying to conquer a new territory. When you're clashing out, it means like, a general going out to conquer a new territory. So whoever goes through a clash year generally would be a bit more exhausted at the end of the year. Greater consumer means a great amount of resources being used. For example, one lump sum of money coming out to put down a deposit for a house, for example. If it's not about money, it's like one big amount of effort, energy, right? Time being used, all right? Trying to conquer this new objective. Obstacle, challenges, peeling head means stressful situations to the point of, having a headache, having a migraine. Okay, so this talks about a position of leadership that requires you to travel a bit more, to move a bit more, all right, in your efforts of problem solving. The reason for problem solving is because you're trying to conquer a new territory, you're trying to expand your pursuit for opportunities. In the journey, all right, of pursuing this, a lot of resources, energy, money will be used, and the entire journey will be full of challenges, and it can be a little bit more stressful than usual. Tiger. The tiger and the snake forms a harm relationship. Now, a harm relationship traditionally, right, we always describe it as a mixture of negative emotions. That means it could be a mixture of frustration, sadness, anger, passive aggressive, exhaustion, right? Emotionally triggering events, right? So a lot of people don't like harm. But if you ask me, right, harm is just a mixture of, emotions because you are embarking on a new journey, a new adventure, you're trying new things. That's why there's a mixture of like 20-30% nervousness, excitement, but 70% uncertainty. That's why you feel a bit fearful. You feel a bit, unsure. You feel a bit, panicky as well. Okay. So I want you guys to understand that the harm just represents a new adventure for you. But the tiger this year also has a side effect called ungrateful punishment. Now, ungrateful punishment basically means people being ungrateful to you. You feel underappreciated. Okay. Some people might feel feelings of betrayal. So the harm talks about a nervous new adventure. And there might be moments of underappreciation, but not to worry. This is just part and parcel of the process. Okay. Now, If you have the tiger, you have fortune virtue and heavenly virtue. Okay? Now, virtue basically means luckiness. Lady Luck is just smiling down on you. And of course, like luckiness is not enough, you also have the prosperity star. Now, another name for prosperity is abundance. That means you have abundance in connections, resources, noblemen, advisors, money-making opportunities, right? All that stuff, whatever you need to get to the next level, right? You have abundance of resources at your fingertips. Now, prosperity star is also a little bit of a fatty star because prosperity, right? Like, for example, like people say, Kenneth, you look very prosperous, right? For example, right? What does that mean? Look fat. Okay, so prosperity also talks about abundance of food and drinks, enjoying life. That's why you're very prosperous, you're enjoying life. Okay, so those of you with the tiger in your charts, be prepared to put on a bit of weight, but basically it's okay. All right, it's okay to be happy. Prosperity generally means happiness. Now you have the crossing Shah, coat tongue, and six harm. Now this is all talking about petty people, emotional arguments, harsh words, being exchanged, heated exchanges, right? Basically, the entire experience is not going to be very comfortable. Robbery Shah, sometimes you get underappreciated and then your credits get stolen from you. Okay, in the old days, robbery Shah literally means being robbed at knife point. Okay, in the modern days, it means that your credits at work gets stolen or your ideas get stolen. Okay, so be careful of overly exposing your ideas this year. Goat blade on a health or physical sense, it could talk about cutting yourself and bleeding. On a relationship sense, it could mean cutting ties. Now, this might not really be because of an argument, but this could mean maybe people leaving their jobs, resigning, and, there might be an end to a pretty long relationship, working relationship. Rare morning, undesirable event. Okay, this means that you get to witness. It might not be you. All right, it might not be you. It might be you witnessing some of your colleagues losing their jobs during a retrenchment. You could witness maybe a family member, a distant family member, being hospitalized. So basically, it's like a very undesirable event. It might not happen to you personally, but you have a chance to witness it. The monkey is going through 3 relationships. So let me explain this to you. Number 1, the monkey and the snake forms a 6 harmony combination. So you know that it will be an opportunistic year for you. But it also forms a secondary relationship called destruction. Now, destruction carries a bit of a restructuring nature. That means doing things differently, even doing things completely different. Destruction also indicates fast-moving changes. That means all these changes happens very quickly. And finally, it also has a side effect of ungrateful punishment. Okay, so the same thing as the tiger, it also has a side effect. Number 1, it is opportunistic, but these opportunities, in order for you guys to get a hold of it, you guys need to approach the opportunity in a different way. If you keep to the same old way of doing things, most likely you're going to miss it. Okay, so any form of restructuring going on, any form of forced changes, anything that requires you to approach the market differently is good for you guys. Now, ungrateful punishment, again, it means moments of underappreciation. Now, guys, don't be overly worried about this because this ungrateful punishment energy is a two-way street. That means a lot of you are worried about people being ungrateful to you, but you can also be ungrateful to people as well. Okay, for example, if your boss gives you a great opportunity and the first thing that you have to do is to remove 30% of your teammates. Can you see how this works, guys? Right, it is an opportunity for you, but because of the destruction, correct? Because of the destruction, there's a bit of restructuring. And because of restructuring, you have to remove 30% of your team members. So your activities are a bit ungrateful. So can you see how 6 harmony to layered with destruction, layered with ungrateful punishment is just a description of the activities that you need to do. All right? So no panicking, all right? Okay. Now, in the monkey, we have a whole list. Okay? So Grand Duke combination means the opportunities of the year coming to look for you. Heavenly E and Sky Gracious means nobleman. Those of you who wants a deeper explanation, Heavenly E means divine nobleman, means you somehow you have a tendency to do the right things at the right time, at the right place, talking to the right people. That's called divine nobleman. Sky Gracious is a physical person who helps you get to the next milestone, then disappears. Okay, but you can just understand it as nobleman situation as well as a physical nobleman. Then, of course, you have the moon. Now, the moon is a learning wealth star, which means there will be an opportunity coming your way, but you might be missing like a skill set, some knowledge, some know-hows, for example, right? So the faster you learn on the job, the faster you're able to take advantage of this opportunity. There's year punishment and 3 punishment and piercing rope. Now, whenever you see the word punishment, it basically means self-inflicted pain. Okay, it doesn't mean that you are sadistic, all right? Basically, you are willing to go through a tedious and tiring journey because you see a worthwhile reward at the end of the journey. Okay, piercing rope means the journey can be quite pressurizing. Solitary star means alone time. It's not a lonely star. It just means that you appreciate your me time, your alone time for you to think, all right, for you to analyze, for you to strategize. Hook spirit means you have a tendency to hold on to the past. Now, those of you with the monkey, the first thing I need you guys to do is to let go. Okay, because whatever that used to trigger success stories, right, is no longer relevant. Now, great assembly means a group of people coming to you and they're going to voice their opposition that, no, you can't do this. No, we disagree and all that stuff. Okay, which is very normal because you guys are changing. You guys are going through a restructuring, right? Death God, in terms of health, can talk about weaker health, but but in terms of work, it talks about making mistakes. Okay, it talks about making mistakes because of non-clarity. Now, this is the part that you guys have to be careful. Heavenly Officer Charm talks about compliance issues with governing bodies. For example, the government. Flying Blade indicates recurring problems. That means you thought you solved it, but it keeps coming back. So it's very annoying. And Red Chamber Shah talks about working with the wrong partners. You're trying to discover new directions. Okay, so it's very normal for you guys to go through trial and error. Okay, so along the way, you might realize that your current working partners are not exactly performing. So don't be afraid of cutting them off and looking for new ones. This is called your ungrateful punishment. Most masters around the world would just talk about those 4 animal signs, okay, in terms of Grand Duke animal signs. But to my understanding, Grand Duke animal signs are animal signs that has some form of interactions or relationship with the King of the Year. Okay, so this is the extended version called the Grand Duke animal signs of opportunities. So if you guys have the monkey, ox, and rooster type A1, be ready for a good year. Okay, so now the monkey is in that's why I say the monkey is a bit busy this year because it falls under the Grand Duke animal signs, but it also falls under the opportunistic animal signs. Okay, so I've already gone past the monkey. So let's talk about the ox. Now, there is a special relationship called the 3 harmony combination between the snake, rooster, and ox. All you need to have will be 2 out of 3 animal signs for you guys to enjoy this energy. All right, so any of you who have the ox, you guys have the privilege of enjoying the 3 harmony combination energy. Now, for you guys to understand, 3 harmony combination talks about nobleman energy. That means I'm talking about noble people and noble events. So I'm talking about third-party assistance. I'm talking about third-party recommendations. I'm talking about third-party events, all right, that triggers an opportunity for you. For example, your company goes into a restructuring, and as a result of that, it creates a new position for you. All right, this is what I call third-party events. It also talks about collaboration with multiple parties at the same time. It can be interdepartmental. It can be working with different parties externally and some parties internally all at the same time. And finally, it talks about multitasking, right? So you're double hatting, triple hatting, and you're just trying to balance and you're just trying to juggle between different job scopes, KPIs, SOPs, milestones, projects. The elegant seal talks about innovation and creativity. Okay, at the very least, do something different as compared to 2024. And Fortune Nobleman talks about Fortune talks about achieving your goals, and Nobleman talks about helpful people. So wherever you're pivoting to, right, there will always be helpful people assisting you. So those of you who are going through a tough transition right now, open your mouth and ask if other people can recommend something to you. Now, because you are doing something different, you're pivoting to something different, okay, or you are taking on more stuff, right? You're juggling different work job scopes and KPIs, right? You have the yellow flag. The yellow flag means one moment this, one moment that, one moment this, one moment that. That means it's a shifting focus because you're constantly juggling, right? White tiger means it's a very exhausting process. You are going to feel very tired already. All right, trying to do so many things at the same time. Sky cry, emotional challenges, frustrations, anger, feelings of being trapped. All right, feelings of betrayal, feelings of, underappreciated, feelings of being bullied sometimes, right? Very emotional. Okay. And Sky Warrior means every time when there's a problem, there's an issue, you're forced to fight and overcome. Okay, so this is the Ox, which means the Ox, you definitely need to pivot and do something new. Now, the Rooster is the other animal sign that is going through the 3 harmony combination. Okay, but the Rooster has one additional relationship. It is called the hidden combination. Okay, that means the Rooster is going through the 3 harmony combination and the hidden combination. So Rooster talks about the 3 harmony and the hidden combination. So of course, we're talking about the nobleman and collaboration. We're talking about multitasking. What is different is the hidden combination. Now, the hidden combination, because it's called hidden, right? That means if you don't say, the public doesn't know. All right, so this is what we call internal arrangements, such as internal transfers, internal transferring from one department to another department, or maybe changing of teams, for example, or basically reporting to another boss, right? It could also talk about internal reshuffling, organization, restructuring even. Now, just in case all this internal stuff does not apply to you, then hidden combination talks about private connections, such as people extending a private invitation for you to join them in their company. It could mean your close friends or your family members pulling strings. All right, pulling strings, putting in a good word to their HR, to their boss to grant you an interview, for example. Now, for the Rooster, these are the auxiliary stars. Now, the golden lock means wealth opportunity, opening the golden chest. 3 stages, those of you who are employees, you have a very good chance of getting promoted because the 3 stages talks about an energy of upgrading. That means even if you don't get promoted, you get elevated to a higher position of leadership and responsibilities. Okay, those of you who are bosses, entrepreneurs, this talks about scaling up or doing bigger business. General star talks about leadership. So if you are the employee, you most likely you'll go into like a leadership position. Those of you who are business owners, you have to show the market and lead the way. For example, you might introduce a new product and service. You might introduce a new solution. You might introduce a new just say a breakthrough framework. Okay, Earth relief means problem solving. But those of you with the rooster in your charts, Earth relief talks about a lucky star dealing with real estate. That means buying, selling, renovating, buying land, brokering land, right? Anything that deals with real estate, you have the lucky star with you. Okay, so now for the 5 goals, all right, now the 5 goals talks about negative inner voices. For example, your boss, or there might be an opportunity given to you, but you straight away go into this negative mindset, meaning, what if I fail? What if I can't do it? What if I let people down? What if I'm not good enough? What if I don't deserve this, right? It's always what if, negative outcome. What if, negative outcome. All right. So those of you with the rooster in your charts, all right, in your natal charts especially, pay attention to negative inner voices. All right. If this gets too loud, tell your mind to shut up. Officer charm means compliant issues. This is not as serious as the heavily officer charm. The officer charm means you might go against company policy. So be careful of whatever you're doing. Broker star talks about communication breakdown. Year charm talks about the year's challenges. Flying charm, constant issues to overcome. Solid killing, bumpy journey. Anything that says killing, sky killing, earth killing, solid killing, basically means that the journey is a bit bumpy. Yin Sha talks about hidden issues. It might be a lack of knowledge. It might be discovering hidden problems that has been swept under the carpet. Of course, we have 5 neutral animal sign. Let's start with the rat. You have the very powerful Emperor star. Okay, you have the very powerful Emperor star. Now, the Emperor basically indicates the ultimate leadership. And the emperor, you will realize that whichever emperor that we know, they have access to whatever they want. They have access to money, army, all right. They have access to advisors. They have access to anything that they need to run their kingdom. So the emperor star also represents a star of resourcefulness, or you have access to abundant resources. Now, the dragon virtue is also a very powerful star, okay, in terms of problem solving and innovation. It is so powerful that you not only can solve problems, you dissolve problems. And you have the Jade Hall. Jade Hall talks about an increase in value. All right. So it could talk about your assets. It could talk about your personal value. It could talk about your contribution to your company. It could talk about the value that you offer to the marketplace. Tai Chi nobleman means heightened awareness and intuition. So if you have the red, it might be a great year for you to pick up metaphysics. Divine, Sky Noble is like the heavenly E is divine nobleman, doing the right things at the right place, talking to the right people, right? So it's very timely. But those of you with the red, you also have to be very, very careful. You have something very annoying, okay? You have something called the brutal defeat. Now, brutal defeat means sudden success and sudden failures. It normally happens when things are going well. So it will catch you by surprise. Dark sky means gloomy situation. When the brutal defeat hits, the situation becomes gloomy. 6 calamity means undesirable outcome. Okay, rabbit. Okay, guys, can you... Okay, how many of you think that the rabbit looks really pissed off? Okay, let me explain to you why, okay? Validate this for me, okay? Now, when you guys entered November, okay, when you guys entered November, did you realize that suddenly your momentum picked up? Your deadlines just came very close. You have less, instead of 24 hours in a day, you have only 12 or maybe even 8. How many of you felt that suddenly you can't breathe? Everything is running. Because the reason why you're feeling this way is because you have a star called thriving. Thriving talks about being on an upward elevation. That means you're progressing. It's good, all right? But thriving also means stepping on the accelerator. Clan house means learning opportunities as well as requalification opportunities. 8 seats, visibility and fame. Okay, so this is very good for social media marketing. This is also very good for gaining credibility and visibility at your workplace. Okay, but don't be overly happy. All right, because this is a double-edged sword. You will gain a lot of visibility and recognition if you do things well. But if you screw up and make a mistake, all right, you become, in Datuk Joey's words, you become infamous. All right, because everybody will see you making the mistake as well. Sky dog means potential bodily harm. Be careful of minor accidents. Control the activities, control the environment, you control the damage. Okay, guys? Okay, funeral guest means not only is it affecting you health wise, the sickness energy or the weaker health energy has entered your home. That means it not only affects you, it affects your entire family. Swallow trap means there are moments where you feel trapped in your situation. Calamity Shah means you might go to destinations that are a bit more prone to natural disasters. Okay, Dragon. Okay, Dragon. How was your year in 2024? Okay. Now, 2025 is going to be much better. Okay. So 2025, you have the Sky Happiness. Now, the Sky Happiness is a celebration star. So can't be that bad, right? Right. There must be something happening for you to celebrate. Surpassing path means opportunities are given to you due to your past track record, connections, work performance. Heavenly Officer talks about support from higher authority. So those of you who are looking to change jobs, looking for new opportunities, right? You might want to look at people that you already know, who you already know. All right. People who have already recognized you for your past abilities and competencies. Okay. That is where your opportunities are. Yeah. Yersha talks about the year's challenges. Aha. Sickness charm. Okay. People with the dragon, you are more prone to falling sick this year. Lonesome star, this is the real lonely star. Okay, this is when you truly feel that no one understands you. You might have people physically around you, but you still feel very alone because you feel that you are alone in this world doing your own thing and no one truly understands you. That's the reason why you feel lonely. Sky killing, remember, anything killing is a bumpy journey. And prison star, you feel trapped. How about the horse? Okay, the horse. Don't worry, the horse much better this year in 2025. Okay, now the horse has the sun. The sun is talking about one of the biggest or strongest ability to problem solve. Okay, there is a saying that goes, wherever the sun touches, evil disappears. Those of you who practice Feng Shui would know the Great Sun formula. This is the reason why. All right, because the sun is able to dissolve a lot of problems or eliminate a lot of problems. Traditionally, the sun also represents male noblemen. Intelligence star means this is not a study star. This is an understanding star. That means you're able to understand more complex issues and concepts, and you're able to create and produce much better solutions. Academy, learning opportunities, getting re-certified, getting re-qualified. Peach Blossom and Salty Pool, double likability stars. Okay. Those of you who are unclear or you need to understand what's the difference, Peach Blossom means the actual attraction. Okay. Salty Pool in the old days was deemed as an inauspicious star because the salty pool is the star of lust. That means one night stand and all that stuff, right? So very short-term relationships. But according to Dato' Joey, it is a form of attraction. So if you use it correctly with your pants on, basically you can use it for good sales and social media marketing. You can use it for influencing and stuff like that. Okay? Yeah, just keep your pants on, yeah? And you'll be fine. Heavenly Chef. Okay, this is the other fatty star. Okay? The heavenly chef talks about enjoying good food and drinks. So those of you with the horse, okay, it's okay. Put on a bit of weight. It's okay. All right. But while you're eating, do not forget to network because the heavenly chef is really good for networking. So those of you with the horse in your charts, all right, be prepared to extend your network. Be prepared to know new people. Don't be shy. All right. Tai Chi nobleman, heightened awareness, heightened intuition. Okay, those people with the horse, good year to pick up another metaphysics subject. Okay, okay, do with the pants on. Yeah, exactly. Okay, year Sha again, year's challenges. Sky emptiness means there will be moments of you feeling lost. Okay, there will be moments of you feeling lost. It's okay. You're discovering. You have the Tai Chi nobleman, all right? So just follow your intuition. Okay, and bad chi basically talks about a negative attitude or a negative mindset. And the dog. Okay, the dog looks happy. Okay, because he wasn't very happy in 2024. But not to worry. Okay, the dog looks cute this year. So it has the Imperial Advisor. It means elevation in ranking and remuneration potential. Monthly virtue, problem solving, great solutions. Red matchmaker, likability. Now, pulling saddle means you're trying to put the saddle on the horse, all right, and the horse takes off in a different direction, dragging you along with it. This is called a sudden pivot. So those of you with the dog in your natal charts, all right, be prepared to change your approach to the market or change your approach in what you do, all right, in your career as well. Death charm means weaker health as well as negativity. Lesser consumer means increased spending. Now, this is different from the greater consumer. Greater consumer means one lump sum, like putting down a very big deposit for a house. Lesser consumer means there is an increased spending across the year. That means every month you're spending more money, more effort, more time, more energy. Okay, there's an increase in using your resources. And finally, cascading cloud shard talks about not such a good working relationship. And finally, last but not least, the infamous goat. The goat is a bit tricky in 2025. Okay, because this goat, can you see how lonely it is? Just looking out the window. Because it is a year of no support. What do I mean by no support? All right. It means the goat has no auspicious stars this year. Zero. So a year of no support, please do not think of it as it's a year of bad luck. That is the wrong way of understanding. Okay. Now, a year of no support means stagnation. It means whatever you're trying to do is not supported, it's not coming through, most likely it's not achievable. Okay, but it's not unlucky. Okay, it just means a bit of stagnation, which also means whatever that you guys are doing in 2024 are no longer relevant. Okay, you definitely must change. Okay, which means that you need to find opportunities to pivot, flip the situation, embark on something new, jump into a new area that you're unfamiliar with. That means you definitely have to change. Because if you don't, all right, because if you don't, most likely you will fall into stagnation. Now, take a look at the auxiliary stars, okay? All black. All black. All right. Now, funeral door and earth funeral means weak immunity. All right. That means because of your weaker defense mechanism, you are going to be victimized by a lot of virus infections, bacteria, and stuff like that. Great Shah and Flying Chase, bigger than usual obstacles and constant issues. Moon Shah, hidden issues. Leopard tail, offending others. Now, do not worry about the leopard tail because it's not your problem, it's theirs. For example, you're doing something different, but just because they don't agree based on their own value system, they are going to feel offended. And finally, separating age means people distancing themselves away from each other. It could be due to retrenchments. It could be due to internal transfers. It could be due to just retirement and resigning. Okay, guys? All right. On that note, my name is Kenneth Wong. Thank you so much for joining me.